So I'm gonna do like a wrap up. I don't really know how to do this. If my brother's walking, I might cry. Wait, what's her name? Nora. I was gonna call her Ella. I don't know where that came from. I cannot think of what it's called. Dark. No, that's sad. No, hold on. What is it called? And I was like, oh my god, that's so cool. Like a little bit of FOMO, but I'm not gonna buy it. Like I'm not doing it. But then her mom was like, actually, does she survive? Does she not? Guess you'll have to read to find out. Like, and then I'll walk in and be like, hey. Oh my gosh, and it was my third reread. Yes, this is my March wrap up. 2 days, maybe 3 days late. This is kind of awkward. Wait, guys, hello. That's my notes. I'm gonna do. Oh my god, this is so weird. Anyway, I read. So I'm gonna do like a wrap up. That's crazy. I don't really know how to do this though. I'm not very good at this type of thing. We are on day 2 of unwashed hair, and it's also hasn't been brushed in like 4 days. I'm on spring break. I haven't done anything this week. Don't mind that. Great. Basically, this is gonna be really short because I've only read 4 books. I'll mention the books I started in May, but it's been a really bad it's been a bad year because I went into school with the first book I'm going to show in January, and I didn't finish it until March. So that just shows how bad it's been. Did read a few of the books online, so these aren't all the books. I don't really know how to do this. I'm not good at summarizing. I'm not. Anyway, but I'll try my best. Also, if you hear noise from anywhere else, my bad. I'm sorry. This is so awkward. If my brother's walking, I might cry. Oh, it is April 2nd. I'm trying to hurry up and get this done and upload it because I didn't even think to do this. Because I only became brave enough to post something on YouTube like 2 days ago for my little Ocean City vlog. So, bear with me. I'm thinking, I'm sorry. Hold on. I'm also trying to speak clearer because I am mumblecore. So I'm trying to be clear. If it doesn't come out clear, I'm so sorry. The first book we have is Midnight Library. I started this book in January when winter break ended, but we had an extended break, so I did read this book from January to March. It took me a very long time to get half the book, which was January to March, and then I finally got into it, but it was like school took over a lot. Anyway, I don't know what I rated this book. I think I put 3 stars because of how long it took, but I don't think it was because of the book. I think it was because of how long. I think it's because how long it took me to read it. Like, it was a good book. Like, I liked it. I'm also really bad at summarizing. I'm so sorry. Wait, what's her name? Nora. I was gonna call her Ella. I don't know where that came from. I don't know how to summarize without spoiling. Basically, she gets sent. She tries to exit the world permanently, right? She gets sent to this little library where she can live in other lives and learn how things would be in other worlds that she lived in. It's a very interesting journey. I liked it. It showed that you win some, you lose some. Just because you didn't go the path you think you wanted to go into doesn't she has the book of regrets in there, and she has so many of them because of things she didn't do, but she doesn't realize that that definitely could have changed her course in so many different ways, and things could have been super terrible for her. She went the other way, or things she would have lost things that she had in her normal life, you know. So it's really just a big old lesson on how your choices affect your future, I guess. There's more to it. There's so much more to it. It's really good. I like it. I 10 out of 10 recommend. I'm gonna say that about everything though, because I can't. I'm really bad at being it's terrible. No, but I think it's good. I think it could really put in perspective things for people who might be struggling, you know. I think it could be good for that. I to give it a shot, you know. I'm really bad at explaining, so also maybe look it up. Make sure things are set straight. Anyway, the second book, I read it online. It's the prequel series. I cannot think of what it's called. No, that's the no, hold on, what is it called? Brothers Zodiac. It's the prequel to the Zodiac series. Well, what is it called? Hold on, my back. It's called Ruthless Boys of the Zodiac. I started that series last month, and I finished the first book, but I started the series in February. Dark Fae. I started that in February, finished it in March, and I started the second book in March, but I haven't finished it yet. I'm sorry. So, I'm just gonna say, I finished Dark Fae. I'll put a picture if I remember. It's up here somewhere. What is this book about? Basically, so if you read Zodiac, you'll meet a character named Gabriel, and he is in, I'm pretty sure it's common knowledge that, actually, let me go look that up too. I'll check to make sure it wasn't a spoiler. I'm so sorry if you can hear my brother speaking in the background. But anyway, Dark Fae, it's on the back of the book, so it's not a spoiler. Don't worry, don't fret. Her brother, the girl, Elise, her brother was murdered, and she somehow figured out that it's one of the kings in a school, so she goes to the school. She like gets in there somehow, and she has to figure out which king, because there's 4 kings. She has to figure out which one of them killed her brother. So she goes to the school to figure that out. And the first book is just like her, I think it's her like becoming friendly with them. It's really hard for me to separate series because I kind of just combine them all into one. So I'm like, I don't know what happened in the first book and the second book, the third book. I just know what happened overall. So that's hard to, but I'm pretty sure she's literally just getting to know them. Gabriel is one of the kings, so that's where the connection comes in. I'm reading the Zodiac Academy in the order where you read the prequel series in between the books. I looked up in order before I even started the series, so it was like read books 1 to 3 of Zodiac Academy and then stop and switch over to the prequel series and then continue Zodiac Academy. So I am currently being left on a cliffhanger in Zodiac Academy, which is very unpleasant because I miss them a lot. But yeah, I like the series enough though, so it's okay. I don't remember what I gave that book either. If I remember to put it on here, I'll put it on here. My little rating. I think it also was like 3 stars. The third book I read since I was feeling left out. I decided to read Fourth Wing. Amazing. I didn't, when it first came out, I did not join as soon as everyone else joined. Like I kind of was like, oh my god, that's so cool, like a little bit of FOMO, but I'm not gonna buy it, like I'm not doing it. And then at the end of the year I was like, okay, I'll buy it. So I bought it, and I really liked Fourth Wing, and I liked Iron Flame. A lot of people never, like I remember a lot of people not liking Iron Flame, but I loved Iron Flame when it first came out. But so I'm rereading because Onyx Storm came out and everyone else is rereading. I was like, let me join the club for once. I'm a little late though because everyone's already finished their rereads. So I am still behind, but it's okay. I'm fine with that. I still don't know what happened in Onyx Storm because I'm in the middle of Iron Flame right now. But Fourth Wing, I read Fourth Wing, my reread. What is Fourth Wing about? I feel like most people would already know, you know, because like it's so popular. But it's, how would I don't know how to explain it. There's a girl. She's the daughter of a general, and she thought she was going into a scribe career. I don't know what they're called, like area. But she thought she was gonna be a scribe. Don't ask me to explain what that is. All I know is library recording history. I don't know. But then her mom was like, actually, you're not. You're gonna go into the what the heck are they called? Oh my gosh, what are they called? She's going into the rider quadrant. Is quadrant the right word? I don't know. But she's going to ride dragons. Just kidding. There's more than that, but like, you know, she's going into the part where it's the only like section you're supposed to volunteer to go into, and a lot of people die going into it, and no one thought she was gonna live because she was born very frail. Does she survive? Does she not? Guess you'll have to read to find out. I started Iron Flame in March as well. I read Fourth Wing so fast. Like it's such a slow year for reading for me, but I flew through this book in a couple days. I think. Let me see. It took me 2 days to read. I was down. I was reading up a storm with this one. I'm currently reading Iron Flame though. I'm literally in the middle. Like, it's literally open over there. The next books I finished in March. I started it in February though. Oh my gosh, and it was my third reread. My favoriteest book of all time. Well, book series. Anyway, Keeping 13. I finished Keeping 13. Now, did it take me a month to read it? Yes, but that's because I only read it at home because I want to be able to laugh and cry and feel all my emotions out loud without being like, oh no, people are around. So I don't read this in school, and I read it after school, but I go in and out of moods when I read after school, so it takes a lot to read after school. And I've also already read this 3 times. I love this book so much. This is the second book in the Boys of Torment series, if you don't already know. And I don't really know if I can talk about this one without talking about the other one. Binding 13. Oh gosh, I'm so bad. But Binding and Keeping 13, they're basically about Shannon Lynch and Johnny Kavanaugh. Shannon do you know this? I don't know, I hope you know this, but she grew up in a very toxic household, and kids were not very nice to her when she was growing up, so she had to switch schools. By not very nice, I mean like they were bullies. I'm not even like, yeah, let me not downplay that. Like, they were vicious, like they were terrible to her. So she eventually moved schools to Tommen, and then it's kind of, I'm gonna say it's their love story, I guess, but there's so much more that goes into it. Like, it's a whole thing. It's found family and lots of love, lots of sadness, lots of stuff. Trigger warnings, people. You should probably also look up trigger warnings for Dark Fae. I don't know if you actually need trigger warnings for those, but I think it might be classified as I don't know if it's considered a dark romance or not. I'd assume, like, there's no like super crazy stuff, I think, yet, but there's like violence and stuff, you know, so just beware, be cautious. But this one is, yeah, it gets deep. It's, you know, it deals with a lot of stuff, so look up trigger warnings. But I love it. I 1000% recommend this book, this whole entire series. I've read Binding and Keeping 13 3 times now. I'm gonna be on my second reread of the other 3 books though, because I read these and then read, does that make sense? I lied. I read this in 2023. Oh my god. I really just don't want to get caught. Like, I'm not annoyed about them walking around the house. Like, stop. Like, they're gonna walk in and be like, hey, please get out. 2023. Move the dates up a year. I did not mean 2022. I read this in 2023. Binding and Keeping 13 in 2023. 2024. I reread these 2. Read Saving and Redeeming 6. And also read Taming 7. It's Taming 7, right? Oh my gosh, I don't know. I'm literally not, it's not working right now. There's all the books I completed reading or read in March. I did start Savage Fae, which is the second book in the, I'm gonna call it the prequel series to the Zodiac Academy because I cannot think of what it's called right now. And I also started 1984 in class, and I usually don't count books I read in school to like the books I read because I just don't pay much attention. But I've wanted to read 1984 for a very long time now, so the fact that we're reading it at school, I'm like actually paying attention, so I do count that. But we've only read like 30 pages because we've been distracted by a paper. But I started that, so I started 1984 and I started Savage Fae, and these are the 3 physical books I read. Yes, this is my March wrap up. 2 days, maybe 3 days late because I don't know if I'll finish editing this tonight. I guess that's all. If someone from school sees this and you watched it all the way through, you can't even make fun of me because you watched it all the way through. So obviously I was entertaining enough to keep you here. Stop it. I'm so scared of someone from school seeing this. But if they do, it's whatever. That's what I've decided. It's whatever. So this is my little March wrap up, I guess. Let me go edit this real quick.